Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. I hope you're here to stay. So for today's video, I'm actually going to be doing a highlighting and contouring video that has been requested quite a bit on YouTube and my Snapchat. So I thought I'd get that uploaded for you guys today, or I thought I'd film that today. I've actually filmed this video 6 times. I know. It's crazy. I finally got the right one that I wanted to use. As I'm editing, no sound. There was no sound whatsoever. So I'm hoping this video does come out great, and if not, I'm just gonna have to do a voiceover because like I said, I filmed this about 6 times. It's a little frustrating, and I want to get other videos uploaded for you guys, but I thought I'd get this one at least out of the way. So anyways, I am going to lunch pretty soon, so I do need to hurry up. So yeah, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. And because you're already watching, I see you, girl. I see you. So don't forget to subscribe, and let's just get right into the video. So the first thing I'm going to do is start my base. I'm just going to go in with the CoverGirl Healthy Elixir foundation. I use 745 and 742 because they don't have a shade in between these two, so I have to mix. I use more of the 742. I do not highlight first. I do my foundation first. I don't see the point in doing the highlighting and contouring first. And by the way, I did forget to mention, this is the way I do my highlighting and contouring. But if this is too like extreme for you, and you want to see something a little more, I wouldn't say natural because there's really nothing natural about highlighting and contouring, but if you do want to see more of like a beginner video, then I will go ahead and get that up for those who don't ever contour and this is probably too extreme for you, or not extreme, I wouldn't say extreme, but maybe too much, I guess. I can go ahead and upload something a little more simpler. By the way, if you're wondering about this foundation, it is oil free and it just looks like skin. It just looks so good. I love it. So after I apply my foundation, I go ahead and I start to conceal. So for concealer, I'm going to go ahead and use the Tarte Shape Tape. This is in the shade Light Medium. If you do not own the Tarte Shape Tape, that's okay. A favorite of mine from the drugstore are the Maybelline. This is the Better Skin. The Maybelline Fit Me is really good. The LA Girl concealers are awesome. And the Age Rewind for Maybelline also. I just can't find that right now. But those are really good. So I'm just going to take the Tarte Shape Tape. And I'm just going to highlight underneath. This is about 2 shades lighter than me. And I'm just going to bring it down here. I don't take my highlight from the concealer. I don't take the concealer all the way here because this part of the face is what I want to make look smaller. So I don't want to really wide up here. So I want this to look smaller. So I don't really highlight that way. I kind of just stop it right there. As I do blend out my concealer, you will see me bring it this way, but that's just so I don't get like a harsh line of concealer. If that makes sense. Like I just kind of blend it out, but it's not like heavily highlighted right here. And then I take a damp sponge. This is the Real Technique sponge. And I'm just going to go ahead and blend it out. Just make sure there's no creases. Forehead as well. Nose. Okay, then I take the flat part of the sponge and I just blend out the rest of it in case there's any harsh lines. And of course, if you had like a much smaller face, you'd probably highlight a little bit more than I did, but my face is a little bigger, so I focus more on my contouring than I do on my highlighting. And then I'm going to take my COTY AIRSPUN powder because I don't want my under eyes to crease. So after I set my under eyes, I'm going to go ahead and take the E.L.F. Cream Contour palette and with the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. And I really do like this brush. It should really help me get in there. And I go in with these two shades right here. I really do love this palette. Super cheap and it's the bomb. Super creamy also. First, get the hair out of the way. You feel your cheek, you can feel where that hollow is. So wherever the hollow in your cheek is, that's where you're gonna contour. Which is about right here. I start at the hairline and I just stamp the product. I don't bring it all the way down to the mouth. I don't like that. I've tried that when I first started highlighting and contouring. I look like a fool. So I don't do it. I stop about right there. And I just stamp it again. And like I mentioned in my other videos, I stamp this because I do feel like this brush, and well, I don't know if it's the product or the brush, but it does move my product around. Like it disturbs like my base. So I find stamping works a little better with this product. Same thing on the other side. Temples. And on top of the forehead. I start blending out the temples. I don't do my chin. That's just an extra step that I sometimes don't have time to take, and I don't do it. So right here where you see that harsh line, I just flick up my product with a light hand. Again, I don't want to disturb my foundation, just so it blends a little better where that harsh line is. Cream contour is optional. You don't have to do it. This way, another product that I really like to use is the LA Girl concealers. Those are also really, really good. And then I just take my sponge, it's still damp, and I just blend it. You want to make sure everything's nice and blended so nobody sees your secrets. And then just blend the top of the forehead. I'm gonna go ahead and just bake. I'm gonna do the bridge of the nose, my mouth. This is where I tend to sweat and my product tends to break up. So I set it really well. There, and then just the chin, and then the forehead. And then also just to clean up the contour a little bit and make it look more defined, I just clean it up with some powder. Again, this step is optional. You don't have to do this. I do feel like with baking, it does so everything just stays in place and it doesn't move around. And then while that's setting, I do take my loose powder in my shade color. I'm just using the Maybelline, this Fit Me loose powder. This is in the shade 25 medium. And then I take a Real Techniques setting brush and just sort of press it into the skin and blend it out. And I take my damp sponge again and I just press it into the under eyes, the forehead, pretty much where I baked. And then here. And then I take the flat part of the sponge and I just go around the face. I ran out of Fix Plus. Normally I would spray my face with Fix Plus, but I ran out of it today. But my sponge is still wet, so I can still do this. And I like to do this to make sure that there's no powder sitting on top of my skin. It's just all melted. Now the reason that I do put my powder on top of the bake is so in case there is somewhat of a flashback. I feel like if there's like some color on it, it'll kind of remove some of that like white cast if there is one. I don't know, that's just my logic. Then I take the Anastasia contour kit. It's 2 shades right here to get that nice perfect shadow color. And I'm using a Morphe M53 brush. And I'm just gonna go right where I contoured, right where that hollow is. If you're a beginner using powder, start with very little product. You don't want to overload your brush. You don't want it to look heavy. And I work in circular motions to really make sure that it's nice and blended. Then what I do is I bring up my contour towards the hairline like this, and I bring it back down so you kind of have like that, not like a C shape, but I don't know what it'd be. I don't bring down my contour towards the mouth, kind of stop about right here, just like that. Same thing on the other side from the hairline. Work in circular motions. If you use a fan brush or like an angled brush, like something like this, you can still work in circular motions rather than back and forth, because I do feel like you'll get like a hard line. And again, I bring it up towards the hairline because this is where I want to add that shadow, so your eyes are drawn more to right here where the light is rather than right here. So I'm bringing that shadow to make this side of my face, like this part right here, look smaller, because mama's got a wide face. Okay, and then I just go over my temples and my forehead. I don't really contour my forehead too much, doesn't really need it, but I just like to do it, just a little bit of it. Right where I've contoured, you can see it right here. I'm gonna go a little above it, and I'm gonna add my bronzer. Not only is this gonna add color to my face, but I feel like this will also help blend out the contour. And because I put my blush a little higher than my contour, I don't want you to see like a gap from where my contour and my blush is. So I feel like the bronzer really fills in that spot. So this will kind of transition my blush into my contour, or contour into my blush. Again, that's just my logic. You don't have to do this. That's just an extra step that I take. But I really do like the way it looks. So again, I just put that right above the contour, not where I contour, but a little above it. And then just also to diffuse a line that we had. And then I just do my forehead to just add some color to my skin. And then I just bring down the bronzer down my neck. I'm gonna take a matte duo. This is an E.L.F matte duo blush thing. This is a bronzer, this is a blush. I don't really like the bronzer, does nothing to my skin to use the blush part, and this is Fiji matte. Right where I put my bronzer, I'm not gonna put it right on top of it, but kind of, but not. So I'm gonna apply my blush, and if you can see, about right here. So my contour's here, my bronzer's right here. So I'm just gonna apply that right about here. And I'm just taking an angle brush. This is probably, I think this is from Sally's. So you can kind of see, you don't really see where that bronzer is. It just kind of looks really nice and seamless. Powder brush, and I'm just gonna go ahead and blend everything. Make sure everything is nice and seamless. And then I'm also, because sometimes I like to go ham on my blush, I'm just gonna blend everything together and also remove some blush. I'm gonna blend everything together. And I also work in circular motions here, so everything's just all blended together. Now for my highlight. I think I'm gonna use this Wet n Wild Precious Petals. This is one of my favorites. And I'm gonna use a fan brush. I really, really do love this highlight. I think it's only $4 and it works better than some of the ones that I've spent a lot of money on. And I just put this right here, right on the highest point, starting from the hairline and also in circular motions. And then I drag it down just a little bit. Right where, like right at the tip of the brush, just kind of fan it down. So most of my product will be here, and about pretty much whatever was left on my brush, I'm bringing it here, so when I smile, it has a little bit of a highlight to it. And then I do the Cupid's bow. Chin. And nose. I hit my nose really, really hard with highlight. Like a lot. I think I'm gonna be the one guiding Santa's sleigh this year. I do like to take this right into the brow bone. Here. And that's it. Sometimes I will highlight up here, but not today, it's not necessary. It's hot and most likely I'm probably going to sweat, so I don't want to look shiny up there. So what I do is I take like a dual fiber brush, this is from BH Cosmetics, and I just kind of stamp. This brush really helps, like if I put too much highlight, it'll pick some of it up, but not just like the way when I stamp it, like it just blends into my blush even better. So I really do like this brush. And then with the same angle brush that I use for my blush, it has no product on it, I just go over where I put my blush again, just to make sure, just to give me an even more blended look. You can kind of see. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of my eyes and I will be right back. Alright guys, so we have reached the end of this video. Please excuse the fact that my makeup probably looks a mess. I'm actually filming this, the end of this video 5 hours later. I had to take off, so I wasn't able to finish it all in one. I had to come back and film up the end of it, so my makeup looks a hot mess. I'm sorry. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you want to see a tutorial on this eye look, I can go ahead and get that filmed for you guys. And if you want to see a more like a beginner highlighting and contouring, I can go ahead and also film that for you guys too. Just let me know. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe, and let me know what else you would like to see on this channel. I love hearing from you guys. So again, thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!